Because at the end of the day, music is still very subjective.
Very subjective.
But then,
some people can just have trash music opinions. But
anyways,
you
know, for me, I can't even lie. That is a very, very big litmus test, though.
It is.
It's a very big litmus test. I'll just be like, do you like this guy? And then it's not even.
So that's how you select your people.
Guy, no, it's not even that, though. But then once you
though.
just give me an answer, I'll know how to.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Go there.
Are we live?
We're rolling, yeah.
And with that being said, welcome back to the Rant Room. I'm Ohis. Today I'm joined by the beautiful Aifa, my brother Magnus, and...
How is Magnus your brother?
We are
he's my
brothers,
brother from another mother.
Exactly.
And he was about to throw a shot at me, but then...
Can you imagine this straight up?
I'm glad that you know. I was about to say my
You
guy
brought it
who
back
has
to
stepped
yourself.
up his shoe game today.
No, he wasn't going to go about it.
Tani, what happened when I was away? What did you do?
I literally didn't do anything, bro.
So why is everyone picking on your shoes? What's going on?
I don't... Oh, a girl
the
called me
story
handsome.
behind
That's why it's actually hating.
Oh,
well done.
jealous. I get you, I get
Well
you.
done, well done. Anyways, make sure to join the conversation with the hashtag The Rant Room on TVC. And without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So let me just start like this here. Have you guys ever, been in an argument with your parents or whatever, and then they start throwing back the wildest stories? Something like, because I always had one question when they talk about, oh, do you know I was finishing top of my class?
Yeah.
But at the same
I had
time,
to swim.
I heard that from so many other parents.
So who finished second?
So my own question is, no. All of you were finishing first. So who finished? God bless you. Who finished second? Like, what other?
Or wait, or they tell you, the person that is getting first in your class,
So
don't you guys have the same head? And in my mind, I'll be like,
Are they eating more better than you?
no, it's not even in my mind. Why didn't you also get first in your class so when you were there?
Hey,
No, it's
them
true now.
born you tell them that one.
Did you hear? I said in my
In my
mind.
mind, better keep it there in your mind. Or
'Cause-
all the mad stories, like, do you know I used to dodge bullets, hellfire, and brimstone
Story.
to get to
Okay.
class every morning?
Oh,
I used to
please.
walk 66,000 miles just to fetch
Yeah,
water.
they'll tell you the miles and the climbing and
I see
everything.
77 steps.
They'll tell you it snowed in
But
Lagos.
I think it's not in Lagos.
Come on,
But I
man.
think recently, yeah, when I finished my first degree, so I came with my results, and then my dad asked me, I was like, oh dad, my result is here, and I was like, what did you get? I said, second class lower. And trust me, I was so happy because at a point it was like I was not going to graduate, but that's a story for another day. And then he was really upset. He was like, in his time he was drinking gari, and in my time I was eating chicken, I didn't lack, so why would I? I'm like, do you realize the same university you went to, I went to it just to please you? So you don't
the exact same school.
the exact
Oh,
same uni
interesting.
he went to, I went
Interesting.
because as per, I must follow your footsteps. And he was like, he wanted me to read law. During JAM, I remember vividly, he was like, take this, the money, go to the JAM office and, pick up your form, put law there, put this school there. And I ended up coming back with mass comm, and I know how that went, but it's all good. I feel like for our parents, yeah, because they didn't get so much, they expect it from you, and they will really like to use you to boast to their friends.
Yeah.
And
Do you
trust
ever
them.
feel like your parents imposed their own dreams on you?
A guy now.
150%.
Even like-
All the dreams you had until you became an adult, like your brain formed.
Not just my
were
parents,
all your
alone,
parents.
my aunt, my grandma.
In fact, it's a generational
my dad.
something.
Oh,
But
my
even
Even
that,
your
thing of, like, even that thing
grandparents.
of following their footsteps, like they just want you to be like them in almost every way.
But you can
No,
never
it's
be
like
like
They want you
them.
to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, no,
so-
even this thing that like my dad would tell me like, oh, I don't like stepping out in the night. But me, I like it. Do you understand? Me, I'll still come back.
And maybe you had this experience with something.
Yeah,
in the night and you never
that
can
me, I didn't have that.
Please. Even
Do you
during the
understand?
day, something happens to you too. What is the night thing?
It's true, they'll take
Exactly.
you in the morning, evening. Like, this
They can take you anytime. No, forget Lagos. Even in the whole world, even in
Anything happen anytime.
advanced countries, in the morning they can pick you up. Afternoon they pick you up in broad daylight. So nobody should mention night here.
I'm even
Because
surprised that your parents even let you study mass comm,
My
because you know
dear,
how
it's a long
it goes
story.
in Nigeria: lawyer, doctor, engineer, or
Engineer.
disgrace.
Yeah,
Like,
isn't all disgrace?
yes, it's disgrace now. You can't reach outside. Because even me, for example, when I go into uni, I go in to study law. After my first year, I even
You
got.
studied law.
Let me land. I know you want to yab me. Ignore this. I'm actually a very
No,
smart
what
kid.
kind of
But
law?
anyway, like business law. I was going to do business law and criminal law. But anyways, cool. My first year, I got a first class, 73 out of 100. So Cool. Let me
Nobody
know.
asked
Humble
you.
brag. I know you hate. It's calm. Don't worry. But even with that, I found it immensely boring. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to go into journalism. I told my parents that. They were like, "Are you crazy?" But I told them, I was like, "I am not doing law again." Do you know what they did? I got pulled out of school for a year.
Oh.
That is how much they didn't want me to move from that law. After that year out, we came to a common ground and I ended up studying politics. It still wasn't what I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, it was like, oh, we're not sending you abroad for you to study how to write in a newspaper. That
that's
is how
not nice.
they think. Even now, my big brother, God bless him, and he's one of my biggest inspirations today. He's over there in culinary school, like, because he wants to be a professional chef. And I know how hard he had to come home with a second-class engineering degree before my parents finally gave him the permission. So think about it. My parents wasted pounds for him to get that education. Pounds.
Wait, sorry, I want to get something.
just for that.
Sorry,
No,
it's
go
like
on.
I'll debate you a little bit.
Go.
So you have an elder brother. He's in culinary school, meaning he's a chef, he can cook.
Yeah.
And then he also has some brains in engineering.
It's a
What
green
else?
light for her already.
You see what?
It's
I
a green light for
see
her
this
already.
angry.
Let's
move. I see where
Calm
you're
down.
I thought we were even talking about something serious.
I caught the
So
angle
when
she
you
was
mean this
going.
not serious, I used to like to be very careful, Magnus. I don't want to enter you today.
That's
Be
crazy.
very, very careful.
I think I go on a bad side.
I was like
Oh,
you
they
with
attack
your
you, want to
mohawk,
attack
be
me.
very
She-
careful.
she- I,
no,
my
no,
brother
no.
for-
Yours is standard, so just calm down. Don't, it's not that deep.
Okay, so but what's one thing, like when you were a kid, when you told like your parents you wanted to like do, you know, one of those very nonsense things we used to say that they will literally slap or beat you for.
Imagine going to play football outside after 5.
That is always the number one thing. Every person I know, I want to be a footballer.
Do you know because of how scared I was? Everything I dreamed of, it was only me and my pillow that were dreaming it. Like it never
Facts,
crossed
oh.
my room. I never voiced it out. Even now, Seth, I'm just trying to, give some steps. I'll just do like this. He will counter me with like 3. Say 2 things, counter with 5. 7 things, 11.
Like
So
this particular conversation, I can't really like. I've been kind of silent because like the reason I'm actually here now is because there was like this miracle where my parents were actually kind of understanding
Guy, do you
when I told them like.
miracle, not the
'cause I
entire
was,
Jesus.
I'm
so.
telling you, honestly, I was like you said, you were in law for like a year. I was in engineering for the first year, and then obviously clocked that like, guy, I'm not going to be an engineer. I don't know. I don't even know what these guys are doing in this life. And then I was just like, because this is something. Because right now I'm taking broadcasting and media communications.
Shout out
But
you,
this is
man.
something I've been wanting to do since. Because even when they're like, oh, go science and arts. Even before then, it wasn't even like straight road to science. You get. So yeah, but obviously, last is that my parents were actually understanding at that point. But then, based on every other thing, we've seen that like I've seen that one. We can even call it like, not even a fluke, but then that's just like one thing that they've done that's really good, and then there's still a lot of ground that they have to cover. Sha.
Of course, I feel like even now,
Trust
again,
me, they will not
we can
cover
speak
it.
for our parents, but
Not
maybe with the
everything will be
times,
covered.
I've always chalked it up to old age, personally, and the fact that they don't really care as much anymore.
No. It's
But
probably
I
the
feel
experience from back then.
you never know, yeah. But I feel like even now, maybe I'm just speaking for myself. Maybe they're just becoming a bit more liberal because of the times. Maybe some of us have had those conversations with our
Then
parents.
I must say you are very lucky.
Yeah, that's
For
what
you
I
to
said.
use the word liberal, because there are lots of parents, even in this room,
can't
that
say
they are
that.
not liberal.
Can't say
Jesus,
that.
producers, they collect some. This is insane.
They are not liberal.
So, what do you have for us today? What's our?
Well, we've already gone into so much of it, but before we even continue the conversation, we'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us here at the Rant Room. Remember to join the conversation with the hashtag The Rant Room on TVC now. I know with everything that we have said, like, oh, there's definitely some negatives there, but could you guys honestly say, like, look into everything that's happened in your life? Could you guys say that it's all bad? Would you say that there's some positives that you picked up from your parents?
No, not necessarily all, but no.
Guy, I think in a lot of people would look at me and say like I have a perfect life even, but then obviously these are like things that have to be earned, but then there are actually a whole lot of positives. I'll give my parents a lot of credit where it's due. Like they step up, guy. They always show out for me when it's time to be, and like that thing of being there for your kids. I've learned that a lot. And then
Like if I was charging, I can't wait to hear what you're about to say.
yeah, they're
Just
sure always
swallow
there.
it.
Like they always want to make me feel like I'm never lacking anything. Do you understand? And so that's something that I'm like now it's even putting pressure on myself that like guy
Yeah,
any
have
You
to
know,
add
there's
more
something
to
I want to say
must
about
do
that
the
when you said that
Mm.
they will always want to make you feel like you're not lacking anything.
Mm.
Yep, I agree with that, and shout out your parents for that. But
Mm.
do you ever feel like sometimes they try and flip it back on you?
Yeah.
Almost in the way
What
of
do you mean?
ownership. Like,
Like
oh,
they did this for you, so you have to
And
do
now
this back.
see that's it's now a double-edged thing because that's the reason like I want to leave this house because it's like guy any small thing I do after I've paid your this thing after I've this thing
Give
so
you a
is like is that why
Every small
exactly is that
thing.
why so yeah yeah that's true but then you can't if they don't do it for me who will do it now do you
I
get
agree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, my parents, again, elephant memory, they'll be the type to say, in May 14, 2003, do you know what I did for
They'll
you?
print
And
a
I'm just
receipt for
like,
you.
my guy, like, what was I doing at that you, at the end of the day, yeah, again, shout out my parents. I love my parents so much because in so many times where there was no one there for me, they were there, of course. But at the same time, it should never be this thing where they try and like dangle it over me and try and impose their wills for my, like basically their dreams that they didn't live for me. Because I know, you guys know how African parents are now. Like Ichi, if you walk, you've been to my house. When you walk into my house, the first thing you see are all the trophies that me and my brothers have collected, graduation pictures, whatever, because they want to show off. It's like, forget your dreams.
Kind of,
Their own
kind of.
is like, well, my son just picked up a first class. I know my dad called his colleagues to congratulate me about my graduation before he called me.
That's
Do you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel like two things I learned from my parents in general. One is that you don't show how you feel. It doesn't mean like you should hide your emotions, but I just feel like once people don't know how you truly feel, like not in like a negative way, but because while growing up I could see my dad, a lot would be going on, like a lot, and he would still find a way to cover it up and still put on that nice face and everything. I learned that from my dad. And I feel like also, my dad is actually a very clean human being. Like, you don't litter
Shout out your
things. You don't, like, if you were to, like, okay, let's say he bought you a dress and he says, oh, try on the dress, and then you try on the dress and then you remove this one and then you just throw it, you just receive slap. Because it's like, you're supposed to, like, at least fold it into two, put it on the side, you know, like, he's clean like that.
That's good.
So
That's good.
basically, the other things, no.
there's one thing I just really wanted to hop on quickly. Maybe we could just address it quickly. Do you guys ever see yourself beating your kids? And if not,
Oh
why?
my god, guy! I had this.
I don't think
this
so,
was an
no.
intense conversation.
You don't beat your
Guy,
kids?
do you know what?
I don't think so.
See, first of all, I'll say no, but then I really had this.
I can't wait for your
I
answer,
feel
by
like-
the way, but no, I want Magnus to finish, but go on.
Well, no, I was just going to say that, like, because I was talking to someone about this recently, and it was just you never know, because I won't say much, but like you never really know how because I've seen it's like it's just a case of sometimes someone will just be like that angry, but then I've just said I'm going to take it upon myself that like I'm going to control my emotions to that level that I'm not going to lay a hand on. Like, I'm just going to try and outsmart the parenting, because I feel like that beating is just like this is not, you know how like when
It's
your
not
laptop is not
necessary.
working, you just start hitting it and then it start so
That's
like
that level of
Because the
no.
thing is, like, even with me, well, maybe we can talk about our previous experiences later. I don't want to traumatize our viewers, but at the same time, I don't think that anyone got more beatings than me. And at the same time, all it really helped me do was get sneakier.
That's it.
I'm more distant.
That's
And it's more
it.
distant.
Like,
that's it.
but before we get too ahead of ourselves, we'll be right back after this short break.
And we're back, and this is the Rant Room on TVC. Do not forget to use the hashtag the Rant Room on TVC and join the conversation.
So you can smile. No,
I'm
anyways.
dead. Wait, hold on, hold
No,
on.
I literally warned you. Well,
Wait,
it wasn't enough for the vibes,
wait,
so.
before you go on, I was going to say something earlier. Have you, this might be a touchy one, Sha, but then have you ever, like, when your parents are telling you about something and like, oh, no, I did this for you, I did this for you, and then in your head, you're just like, guy, I didn't ask.
Nobody's saying you.
I didn't send you, or like
nobody told you to give birth to me.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, guy, that's now the that's the extreme of that one.
The process of the processing, I was not involved.
How do you want to utter? No, you've not finished
that. The day I find out that they can truly reverse that process of giving birth to me.
If it actually happened that minute, they will analyze.
I think I said it one. I said it one time, yeah. I said it one time. And the way I just said, because as at that point, in fact, the anger has been piling up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't talk at first, so I'll just be looking at you, just be yarning all the dust you're yarning. But when it gets to a point, I think that day I was just like, when you and mommy were in the room and doing, I was not there. God did not even, at that time, God did not mold me into the stomach. So whatever you did for me, you did it because it's your duty. I not send you. Because I think what was the issue was that he was with my results. He keeps it in his room. He said it's his results. But it's my name that is on the result. So why would my results be in your room?
That's why
yeah, exactly.
And is the one paying the school? I'm not telling you. I would have been hawking on the road. It would even be more better.
The thing is that I was not involved in the decision to have me. Yeah,
exactly. Nobody took my permission.
I was not involved with me. I just came here. I just landed here. You understand? So like anything that happens,
you would have told me to go to public school, but no, you didn't want to be the ones. You wanted to be with your friends, gang shit, so that you all say, oh, my daughter this and this one, my daughter this, my son is in the UK. Now, that one is the latest one now.
So that's
Mr. Osibo's son just did scholarship to UK, to one university. How that one take concern me? I'm looking about to go and open shop in Ogba. You're telling me I want to go and do this thing.
Sorry,
let's go back, because me too, I was about to go off a tangent, bro.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, something came up in my mind and I was like, what do you think of the opinions of our parents, like the ideology concerning sex, education, relationship, how you dress, how you speak, religion, all that?
Can I say something really quick?
Let Annie speak first.
Sex, relationship, and dressing.
She doesn't like cohesive.
You put the three of them together.
You think you've not started
sex, relationships, and
dressing? Like they are literally on their own, because
maybe we can remove
sex on its own is one. No,
dressing.
No. Like it's on its own category.
Have you?
What are you saying?
Yeah, like
these piercings on my ears. The last time I went to my father's house,
those are nice.
He said, remove everything before you entered my house. I forgot to remove my leg chain. I don't know how I carried it from Lagos to Benin. Wow. He said, remove everything. After I entered, he said, go and wash your. In fact, go and have your baths. Like it's dirtiness.
Wow, but imagine now, in society in Nigeria, it's still socially acceptable for a woman to have her ears pierced. Imagine how I
walk. One person.
Yeah, I understand that. Cool.
If it's 2, you're just entering the streets. If it's 3, you have started this thing work.
That is cool.
If it's more than 4, it's over. Yeah. We've lost you to the streets.
Cool. That's funny. But now imagine a Nigerian male walking to the yard with tattoos or dreads.
Walking to the yard. Please speak English. We're not in
I'm sorry, guy. Let me just. That tattoo is coming, guy. That tattoo is coming.
I think we had something like this last time on tattoos and piercings. It was a whole thing.
This year. It's not coming next year.
Tattoos and piercings, well, I can say from first-hand experience.
That the story.
No. The tattoos on its own.
They outrightly told me coming.
I drew my tattoo already. I'm just waiting for the day that I am fully financially independent. Then nobody can chat to me.
Up to now, my dad has still not seen my tattoo yet.
Oh, so wait. You even have one?
Tani, you have tattoo?
I don't understand.
It's you cool. You're a bad boy.
So he still has not seen it yet, but then we don't live in the same place.
Fair enough.
So it's my aunt.
Camera, cut to the cartoon. You should come out.
He should. Oh. So my aunt and my uncle. Well, my uncle he said he's in the media and everything, so leave him. But then my aunt was like, no, this and that. Don't you know who your mother is? I'm
okay, wait, sorry. So now, do they know where you work? Yes. So how do they feel about your lifestyle choices?
That was what my uncle was saying, but then my aunt was like, no, you should. He's not meant to be this kind of way. You should have in mind. I'm like, this is what I want for myself. Don't be saying,
God bless you, man. I have one question. Have you guys ever had a talk in relation with sex with your parents?
Yeah, guy, I was about to say that. I don't think
Never.
I ever have. I don't think
I did. When my period came. When my period came, I vividly remember. And then they were like, right now, you are at the point where if a boy touches you, you're pregnant. If you ever sit down close to him like this, you're pregnant. You shall not have. That was the only thing.
No, I was literally made to know back then a kiss would get you pregnant. Like that was how bad.
Oh no, they didn't even talk kiss. Their own were just touch.
No, it was a kiss.
The thing
that
is,
was how bad it was.
18 years of my life, I never even had a conversation in the realm of sex with my parents.
But then
Yeah,
you
but
had
then
been going
I
at it 2 years before.
excuse my language. Imagine my parents came, like my mom and my little brother came to visit me in uni. Cool. Now, context, a friend left his wallet in my place.
Condom they inside. Condom they
Thank
inside.
you.
Okay.
So I took my little brother, I said let me go and spoil him. I took him to go and get some food. Now, we came back with him. My mom is there, sat there with her legs crossed. She told my brother, she told my brother, go outside. I was like, but there's nothing to do. She gave him money, he ran out. So I was like, me too, I want money now. Let me go and enjoy myself. He's like, oh, she's as a child of God, with how deeply your father is in the church. Imagine my disappointment.
It's always the pastor's children that they was to.
Imagine my
See the
disappointment.
example.
My friend, imagine
Don't
my
point at me.
disappointment that I found a rubber. He couldn't even call it
Is
rubber.
it a rubber?
A rubber in your room. So in my head, I was like, no, but the number I have to give to escape this situation. Do you know how I started?
It came
I
at
said,
light speed.
number one, I even had to gaslight. I'm so sorry, Mom. See, if you ever watch it, I was like, Mommy, as deep as I am in the church, you know how dedicated I am
Jesus,
in the word of the Lord. And you
dead.
still think that could possibly
Please,
be
how long
mine?
ago is this?
This was 2018.
Okay.
He's
that
like,
is
you
far.
still think this could possibly be mine? How could you even have that
Do you
thought
know-
that I am having sex?
When
In
I'm not
school?
married, Jesus.
What? I even flipped it. I was like, Mommy, I'm disappointed in you. She apologized to me and tripled my
Do you know who
allowance.
you just reminded me of?
She can never
Do you know who
watch
you just reminded me of? What?
She can never.
I'm ready to take lectures from you.
Bro, when it comes to Lambo, I've mastered it, bro. I can escape any situation with my
you have to
words.
know-
You should be ashamed of yourself.
No.
In this life, in this
Abraham,
better
do your
person.
thing, I beg. But then sex, I've never, because to me, they made it so uncomfortable that I didn't even want to hear about it. So once they are talking about that kind of thing, they are female friends, or then maybe within what's it called? Okay, so she works with guys, but then so there are some things they can get away with as a media person that I can't. But it seems so uncomfortable to me back then, because it was like, if you ever do this kind of thing, you're dead. If you ever bring a pregnant lady, you're getting out of my house. So it was that bad. So I never really had that kind of conversation with them. No.
This might be a controversial take, but do you think that a lot of times, even though they will never tell us, do you think sometimes our parents can be hypocrites?
Hey, guy.
They are hypocrites.
Because the thing is that they will
Because-
never tell you the bad stuff they did now.
Because
They would never
even
tell
at
you.
a point, me and my brothers, because when they were doing their morality Olympics, one time, we said, let's just do some math. Cool. My parents got married August
mathematics is that kind of math is
My
never
parents
fun.
got married August 1996. My big brother came into this world January 1997.
Now, that kind of math
me,
is never fun.
if we're in, don't have sex before marriage, how did that happen?
I'm
You're
dead.
staring up.
I'm dead.
How did that
I'm dead.
happen,
I'm dead.
Mopsy?
I'm dead. Yes.
Popsy,
Oh,
how that
wow.
happened? But anyways.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. They're never going to they will never say that to you, you know.
I never thought about that. Wait, so I was
You're
born,
doing math.
they got married. Okay, we'll get there. Anyways. What part does religion play in all this?
Heavy guy.
Heavy.
This I don't
Like I
want to
said,
use
I'm
that
a
word,
child
bring
of
word
the
forward.
church, bro.
Okay, so were you the type that your parents carried you, like if they felt, you were too stubborn, they took you to the church grounds and for the elders to come and pray on your head and be advising you and become your
Elders.
godparent?
Elders, we struck
What happened to you?
MFM
Yeah.
people.
Oh.
It happened a lot.
I won't even say
If he couldn't
exactly.
handle it, he and the way he now painted it, me myself was like, oh God, am I the devil?
Oh.
Is it that? Because they were not like, you're not supposed, Taboo life, you're not supposed to be doing this. Oh, life, you're not supposed to be doing that. Oh,
Guy,
you're
I
not like,
swear.
God, I'm a bad child. Lord, forgive me for all my sins.
I
And then when
wouldn't
I
even
look
say
at
that
it,
really
it was not
is
your
true.
business because me and your children attend the same school.
That really
If we don't attend the same school, we attend the same, we are in the same group. So, have you spoken to your own child before you come and speak to me? Or have you told my
No,
parents that you are aware of the calamities that your children are performing.
That genuinely reminds me. Have your parents ever hit you with?
Oh, be like
look
this
at
guy
insert name here.
Be like this guy.
He's a good boy / girl. I'm like, do you know the treacherous things that this guy
now.
see?
You say treacherous. That's a very calm word.
Like, do you know the things that this person
The
gets
sin.
up to?
I'm telling
Hey.
you.
And even sometimes, literally, I even remember one time, and God forgive me, I'm so sorry. I remember one time I was in church, came dreads and all. And then this one woman came up to me and was like, how can you come into God's presence
Hallelujah.
dressed like this? Auntie, there's a church rumor going around you have cheated on your husband. And you are talking to me about my dreads. Are you out of your mind? But anyways,
I think it's. You didn't say this to her, though, yeah?
You
guys
get
didn't
mine.
know.
By now, will his face be like this?
I haven't been back to that church in 2
Oh
years.
no. Oh no.
I haven't been back in that
Hold
church in 2 years. My parents know me, bro. Like, if you piss me off, I'll go. I'll go, bro. I don't send
Bro. Wait, hold on. So you know how like when we were kids, they used to take us to like church and we'd just be crying and making noise. How are we going to navigate that with our own children? Because children will just be children and they'll just be jumping and so because in my head I'm just like, why are you bringing them to where they will just be disrupting everywhere?
Before that, how many kids do you like plan to have?
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
This-
Kudos to you.
Abi, I will need bar, Abi.
I need to. Pampers is expensive. School
Well,
fees
okay,
is
so let's just
expensive.
say 2.
Not even bad. I think the mental, what do you call, strength to actually
Fortitude.
go through. You
Because it's going to take a lot from you.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Today
I'll
we're
be
talking
good
like
if
we're
one.
adults.
Can you imagine?
Wow,
Like,
great
bro,
stuff.
even
Anyways,
one.
do you feel like our
Guy.
parents' trauma, like the trauma that they had, like do you think that's what they're putting on us?
1 trillion%.
Yes, no.
Really?
That's why
Why?
I feel like that's why they even focus so much on academics and stuff, because a lot of times when my parents talk about, oh, we want you to, like, in as much as we might not like the way they impose themselves, at the end of the day, I feel like their intentions are still good.
No, but then that was
Because-
how they had to prove their.
I understand,
Like,
but like
no,
I said,
so-
they're a product of their environment. This is all they've ever known. So them saying that, oh, we want you to do, again, lawyer, doctor, engineer, or disgrace, is because they know, like, okay, these are the money generating jobs. Like, this is how we believe you can make money.
Yeah, but
Obviously
that's
now
clear, no?
Yeah.
there's music
Okay.
and there's so many other ways you can be successful in
I
this
want to
life.
be a lifestyle entrepreneur.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Amen.
So
Amen.
amen.
Thank you. You're a
So
good guy. Like you now.
my point is, yeah, they
Now.
don't know, they don't understand that. So what they've known, what's been instilled in them, they'll spit it back at us. It's like, no, this is how we believe that we can make money. Like, you can make money. We want you to
Alright.
do this. Blah 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 blah.
Okay,
blah.
cool. Tani, you?
Nah, well,
It's like you.
no.
So when I see you, when was the last time you saw your parents?
I can't say that.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, let's go on a quick break. As you can see, Tani is misplaced. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. We've had a lot to say. We've like a whole lot on scene and off scene, and a lot of plotting has been going on. But then,
I have no idea
nothing
the
will be-
issue they have with my hair. That's how one young man asked me, how do I enter boss? Do I look like I enter boss?
okay.
Stop playing. Do you think this skin is boss?
Wow.
Sorry,
Ah,
trust
Yeah,
my
Stop
so
it,
kid.
though.
back to the issue of the day. So, do you like guys actually think we've abandoned what's it called, us being children of the ancestors and embraced being children of the internet?
Ancestors are dead. Accepted.
Bro,
They're not-
there's
they're not
something
here.
I was going to say.
They're
not here.
It's just like, it's like someone said to me, it's like culture and a lot of tradition is just peer pressure from dead people.
Omo,
No, but I
like
won't
ring
say,
a bell.
How much?
Hold on.
Ring a bell.
So not necessarily, yeah, because some of those things are still like some of the values we still hold on to.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is why
so,
we are here.
I would say it's more or less like a balance. So I think there's a way.
No.
She said it's like a balance. Like we switch in between.
Exactly.
So
What
you
tribe
know-
are you?
Half Edo, half Yoruba.
No
What
wonder.
is that face?
Guy,
I'm
that
gonna
was
park that car right there. What is that face?
Yeah, just say yeah, my brother.
Okay.
But anyways, the point is that you know you're partly Edo and you're partly Yoruba. If those cultures were not still in place, you won't know where you're from. So yes, that's valid for us to, know our heritage.
Yeah.
But not to the point that you now want to push everything on me as a human being.
No, I'm not saying everything, but then there are some things, like I said, balance. You choose the ones that
sorry, yeah. But the thing now is that this is like a 70-30 thing for me. The internet is the present and is the future.
So who gets the 70?
The
internet.
And the 30.
No,
But there's a lot of
Internet.
misinformation
And the 30%.
Yeah. No.
On the
I don't really
internet,
think I don't really think using the word internet is like really right. But like I feel like we understand what we mean by
Yeah,
like,
okay.
By internet,
like
that's why we're
children
using
of now,
internet.
social media.
Gen Zs, we
because
Gen
like the internet
Zs.
is not really a good place. So
It's not.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So treacherous place, bro.
So I would say that like in terms of our ancestors versus the internet, I'll say like our heritage basically and like our values and what we've been taught to do. I feel like there's actually a lot of foundations, like a lot of good stuff that we can take from there. But then we're always just going to have to evolve, guy. We can't like be stuck in.
And that is why I said 70-30.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree with that because especially when it's in ways that are like that we're just trying to progress and like express ourselves. Some things that we don't really need to be doing. We're just trying to fulfill all righteousness with them.
Okay.
We don't really have to do that. Like we can just like move on. It doesn't really matter because sometimes like say with my hair now, basically like my pops will tell me that I have to be on step 1. It's not happening. Do you understand? But then things like see who he's now, guy. Always still get like his head is still on his neck. Do you understand? So nothing is going to happen.
Bone straight.
Do you understand? So it's just things like that. Like they don't really. My dad will tell you that that's what will make the difference in like if someone is applying for a job. And the truth of the matter is that is just not
That
true.
is exactly.
It's
That
just
is
not
one
true
very
anymore.
like it's wrong. It's very very
And
wrong.
that's now where they will tell you that I know more than you. When Oga is just like guy,
There are a lot of
day here.
You don't know
there are a lot of
anything.
jobs that actually
You
require a lot
don't.
of flexibility
A
from
lot.
how you do things. and
Exactly. And
everything.
it
So,
just doesn't matter about your haircut in that situation.
your haircut, whatever you do on your body, then they will be like, they won't take you for this, or it's going to limit the kind you're thinking from whatever it is.
Bro,
you're doing.
even
So-
now, how I left the house like
No,
this
they barbering
morning,
now.
like over the I just spent the weekend at my parents' place, and I
Such
left
a good boy.
and I left the house this morning like this. Is like, how can you go to a company of TVC stature dressed like this every day? I'm like,
It's like you don't know what's
been
something.
to this office. Like, do you know what goes on in this
I had the
place?
talks of
Shout out
Drake.
TVC though.
I remember when my dad came to TVC and he saw Dala, and it's like, is this one of your presenters? I said yes. She's on TV. She said she's on TV. I said yes. She says, all these presenters of nowadays. In our time at EBS, it was not like this. So
In your
For
time, you were watching
unfortunately
grey
for
and
you, your
black
time is not-
TV,
is
bro.
not no
Shit
more,
is
bro.
different.
I literally had the talks of dreads. Then it was cancelled out so fast. Like,
Eh?
I didn't even finish the statement.
Bro, I didn't
did
start
not-
growing this hair.
I
I'm
did
mad.
not finish. It's not. I did not finish that
so like,
statement.
how long have you had this?
3 years. It was 3 years, like March 4th.
Interesting.
Okay,
It's like you're
so-
good with dates.
I'm awesome with dates.
Fantastic.
So on to the next. So do you think TV, social media and stuff like are they separating us from our parents?
No.
Yes and no, but I'll let you
Separating
go
us.
first.
I think it does actually though.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to, since you said yes and no.
He said I didn't say
You
yes
you
and
said
no.
yes and no.
Yeah, I think it does. So,
Yes.
in the like some people who are like upfront with certain things they want to go into, or general topic is sex, for example. You can literally go on YouTube or any TikTok canal, although it's nonsense.
Oh,
they
I
tell you to.
understand the angle you're
So
coming from.
like they literally teach you about most things.
Okay.
Some people
okay.
teach you about that will benefit. While I don't TikTok and everything now is basically nonsense. But then there are still like some sort of valid things.
Yeah, of course. There's so much good. Like the internet as a tool is like one of the most revolutionary things of our lifetimes.
You can almost
100
anything you can
million
So
do.
you're saying that
percent.
like anything that you want, like the information that you could have gotten from your parents or your parents should have given you, you can just go and
Yeah,
source it outside.
but then because of how hard they seem to be when if you ever try to bring up that kind of subject, you tend to look for something else or someone else to give you advice.
when you
on
can
that
just go
kind
and
of
like press your phone
And
just
whose
leave it
fault
there.
is that?
stuff. Yeah, it's from the parents, of course.
I
I'm
know.
glad you accepted that, first of all. Now, our parents are not current. They have refused to accept that this is a new age.
Your
Their
parents.
issue
Yeah, because
is,
they believe their old
pardon,
time is
their
better.
issue is they have so much pride in their chest. They carry it with the pride. It's so much. And when you even tell them, you're like, oh, dad or mom, you didn't tell me about this thing, and they're like, there were reasons why. What are the reasons? So you can't say, and I said, the reason why I said no is because that is why the legal age is 18, yes? So you have 18 years to train your child. Form the child, not by spanking, maybe a few slaps, you know, but like not serious beating.
They tell you spare the rod, you spoil the child. I heard that last week though.
I hear it all the time.
Friday.
Not for me.
But the point is, is that they were not willing to teach us, so we had to go outside
to learn, exactly.
Yes, even in schools, they will still. It was from your peers. It was from my classmates that I learned a lot of things.
Stuff, exactly.
Absolutely.
And then TikTok came, boom. There's literally nothing that you don't Google on TikTok that you don't find.
I swear.
Whether it's true or not, there are facts, there are things there for you to see.
Same
So
thing
why I
with
said
YouTube.
no is because
YouTube is basically a free university.
Yeah.
the thing is that majority of our parents have pushed us outside, okay? For the ones who are, I won't say you're wise, but you're intelligent, you know that your parents will always be there for you, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that you can learn online.
On your own.
On your own, without them. So no, there's a time for my parents, and then there's a time for me. It's just like now, Easter is coming. When are you coming home? It's allegedly his time, but it's not his time. So you have to wait till his time. Now is my time. That's how it is. That's how it is. There's nothing like, oh yes, no. If you were trained properly, and you as a human being, you formed yourself, you think you're an adult, you formed your brain to reason like an, then you will know that, okay, social media can never take me away from my family. It can never change how I perceive my parents.
The parents also should learn how to like communicate well with their children.
Yeah.
Like,
for that one, I won't blame.
Yeah, oh my God.
I won't blame them
well.
because even till now, when they want to scold me, they're like, because I never met my granddad. I never met the man. He died before they even formed me. But I know my mom's father is alive and is a intellectual person. You know, and when the man speaks to me, he's in the village, but like he knows what's happening. He doesn't come and like attack me because the image my dad has formed about my grandfather in my head is that, of Osoloso of our time, because that was my grandfather's name. He says my father this, my father that. But for my mom's side, it's different.
Okay.
The man is chill, collected. He's like, oh, you want to do this? Sure. I was like, oh, granddad, I got tats. And he's like, oh really? See, my
grandma was the same.
Do you get? Like, no
was the
time.
same, bro.
Like I said, they take life too seriously.
Yeah, it would so pain me.
You can't die today. Nothing will happen. Everything will move on.
Children, that's how our parents will not start doing. I'll just be like, guy, where was all
My
this?
son will come home with tattoo.
I'm telling
and
you,
then my mom will be like, oh my God, I love it. I'm like,
I'll just be like, guy,
my
I'll
mom
take
always
it to
says
her.
one thing, like she will literally, I didn't like how I was trained, so this is why I'm actually being different. She never
Yes.
She would say that.
she
Shout out
says
to your
it,
mom.
Yes.
I didn't like how I was trained, so then there's no how. Even if she says like the slightest thing, just let me know if it's bothering you.
So
That's
guess
good.
what?
That's
As long
life.
as your mom has something 90% of Nigerian parents
Do
don't have,
not
which
have.
is discernment.
Oh my God.
They like.
Sorry, guy, it's because
It's as if I woke up a trauma,
It's
bro.
so
You
rare.
okay?
Can we
touching
share
me.
parents on this one? Honestly speaking.
Bro, I don't, because there's really this in my life. I just feel like there's a huge communication divide. I feel like just trying to hear each other. Sometimes they don't even want to hear what you're saying.
And that is where the pride comes. They are not willing.
They
They are
don't
not.
want
They are
to
not
know.
willing to
Yes.
agree that they don't know it.
Thank you. They don't really want to actually.
To them,
imagine a point
they are
where,
the
like,
ancestors now.
Your son actually
It's
said
such an
something and that's how it
unfortunate
will
thing
be.
that if
I don't
something
think it's.
crazy, like deep, is going on in my life, that I just need to talk to someone here. My parents are almost at the bottom.
See, they are not even on the list.
You can't
They
go
don't make
straight
it
to
to
them.
the list, which goes straight. They will not even know. Is that bad?
Depends
Their
on
own
they
type
don't
of
even
advice is
know.
more criticism and making it worse for you.
And that's not what a child needs. Be the child 30. The child doesn't need your criticism. The child does not even need you to even show emotion or show, oh, my child.
Just understand.
There's a
and
way that
listen.
you can, if it's a bad thing, there's a way that you can show me. That's why I said, when you talked about the whole, are you going to be beating your child? in my mind, I'm like, you be chopping a few slaps,
Yeah,
like unexpected few slaps, you get.
Exactly.
But like, there's a way I will do it for you. By that time, maybe I'll know. It's still a very long time, but
Still a very.
see, you
Yeah,
yourself.
imagine, right?
What?
No, I love that. Anyways,
You will respect yourself. So I think communication to our parents need to learn it.
really big.
Key thing.
And the fact
One
is
of
that
the
you
first
people
things.
don't know everything. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You
They
don't know everything.
know
In case
everything,
Yeah.
bro, but they're
You
just
don't.
they're just throwing the age card, like
Wow.
age.
Do you
I
know there are
more
people that
than
are
you off the
50, they are
strength
still
of that.
momos.
On G.
Guy,
Common
God.
sense is not there.
Because when we were kids, all the adults would just be looking at them all like, these guys have grown up. Oh, I can't wait. Guys, so now that we are here and we're actually seeing that they're actually stupid people. Do you understand? Like,
growing
Even
up-
there are a lot of-
myself.
there are a lot of grown-ups that are actually
Growing
stupid.
up was
So
sitting
it's
in
just
a
like-
room with adults,
Yes,
grown as
you
adults.
say
Just
that,
be
and
but
looking at them.
Wow,
Guy.
you guys are actually
There are actually a lot. Thank you.
raw.
There are a lot of people that I'm like, are you serious?
No, like you guys don't have sense for
So-
real. That's crazy.
So that's why I'm just like, okay, it's not really exempt to age anymore. It's just that
No.
like what you know, what you don't.
You don't
You
know.
don't.
And accept that you don't know it. Don't come and be forming your
And also
distance.
accept that some people are not like they are not open to accepting what it is you're going
Yes,
to say.
yeah.
They are
So it just
very,
also boils down to the type
only
of
very
person that you
few
have as a
people
parent.
will actually listen. And when they listen, they'll be like, you
We're
don't
just
talk to me.
we're slowly leaving the era of the coconut heads.
The coconut head, Abby.
slowly.
Because bro, once they are set in their
My
beliefs,
I feel like give them,
My
give
dad-
them, give them a few more years. God keep them for us. Give them like 5, 7 years.
Amen,
Trust
oh.
me.
God
The
keep
way
them.
they are now, they won't be that same way.
Okay,
They
so-
won't.
yeah, to be fair, I'll
Hopefully,
admit
amen.
that because
A little
again,
bit
this
A little bit out of topic. Okay, so what do you feel like the mothers of, let me say, our generation?
Oh, where is
like,
this going?
Would they be? What kind of mothers do you think they would be?
If you want to talk to me,
Okay.
talk to me directly.
don't go to the
understand.
corners.
Emotional side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
Oh, well, okay, and that will be it on that note. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back for you guys. Bye.
I don't blame you, Tani.
Welcome back to the Rant Room, everyone. Make sure to keep on following the show. Hashtag the Rant Room on TVC. All right. So I want to ask you guys about your relationship with your parents. So how is that? For me, Sha, personally, thing is I moved out. So I was in board, obviously, like you guys went to boarding school, right?
Yeah,
From
for sure,
primary
so,
3.
Oh, 3. That's mad.
Say what?
That's mad. Okay,
the
so
three
that
come-
would-
I'm so
see
sorry.
life.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry. That's
You don't see like.
I'm telling you, guys. So we'll go back to you personally on this one. But then I obviously went to boarding school, and then so when I was 17, I think I started living on my own, as in like no house father, no house mother. But then me, I'm the one that's cooking and everything. So I kind of like found a way to navigate my own life without supervision.
Yeah.
So the relationship I had with my parents was they will FaceTime. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I hope you are doing your schoolwork. Yes. Hope you are eating. Yeah. So that relationship, like I feel like when I had autonomy over my life, and then my parents were just there doing their thing, providing, sending my money, everything was okay. Do you understand? But I feel like we get to clash more when we are like in each other's faces.
Yes.
So I've just realized that like
much for saying
the best
Is
this
distance.
long distance relationship
Yeah,
with my
because
parents.
there's
'Cause-
nothing to notice when you're.
Thank you very
No,
much.
no, aside that, yeah, some relationships does work better.
Long distance.
Long
okay?
distance.
Yeah.
Because
Bro,
Long distance
like,
for some
like
people
right
is
now, my
close, you have
parents
to
don't
be
live with me
close.
right now, and guy, you can see as I'm smiling now. Everything is going.
Everybody's just
It's
sweet.
really
Yeah.
soft. Like my relationship with my parents here when I'm away is great. My dad, that's my G.
Fantastic.
My mom is where like proper.
Respect.
But when I'm home, bro, guy, every which way I must hear something. My dressing, my lifestyle, what time I come back.
The way
and
you
I
put
and
the
I don't
teacup.
even really leave home.
Thank
see.
you.
But just
It's just stuff like that. Stuff like that is just it's the annoying. It's the little things that nobody will complain about. And then it's just like when they're now there complaining about it, like, oh my god, guy, where is this one around now? Do you understand? So, yeah. So you were in school since primary 3.
That's
how was
insane.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay, so like in total, yeah, I went to 11 primary and secondary schools. Yes, I know it's a lot.
I think I.
Due to one reason or the other. Best kept to myself.
Are you fighting people? 11.
And there was only one I fought somebody.
You see, I know you're
Oh, wow,
violent,
okay.
but there's no way.
we'll pin this one. But
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
that's
this is your
Well, I feel like with that, let's just say I have my own story. Everybody has their own
Everyone has
story.
their own story, yeah.
So that formed me from when I was little. And growing up, I lived with different people, different lifestyles, different home settings, different characters and everything. So from that, I took from this, and that's what formed me.
Yeah.
And as I'm going, I keep little, good or bad, carry.
There's this thing I really think of a lot, because there's sometimes when like my parents will be like, oh, my parents will be out, and then their friends will be like, oh my god, your son is so this, your son is so that, and they'll be smiling. I'm just like, I did not learn that from you. I really had to like.
I'd shake you, but
She will not say, lion not a bond dog. Lion.
I would shake you right now,
like
but then she'll bounce me. But
So the thing is that like, I feel like a lot of us, we were raised by the
Internet,
earth, by like
ourselves,
by the
our
universe,
friends,
basically,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
have to
but
go out
that
and like
thing.
get all these experiences, which taught us how to be like behave in a lot of places. But
Yes.
yeah.
I have a question
Okay, yeah, go on.
for you guys, and I want, if any parents watching this, I really want you to take note too, because I already know what the answer is.
Hope
to
my
this
own are
question.
not watching this.
Your handle is there. I, will
I really
put it
thought
Have
for
your
you for
parents
them to see.
ever said to you, "I'm sorry"?
You know what? Yeah, so because I've actually had to like
Kudos
these
to you.
conversations I've had to like, you have to have them now, guy, because you cannot die in your house. So you have to just like let them know, like, guy, look, I really feel wronged by you, and see, like, what I'm not really going to
To be
cheer
fair, I
up.
understand.
I'm not going to really cheer up until there's an apology that's made. I'll also
Oh,
say
you
my
demand for an apology?
so no,
demand.
like, it's just that me,
Crazy.
no, it's not like I demand though. There's a way I go about it. I'll be like, me, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. This is what I did wrong. But you know you know what
Well,
you
you
did.
know,
Exactly.
so this
It's only
year-
I just got back people that can be
exactly
demanding.
this
But
mine.
anyways,
I was going to like was it school this morning? I just finished eating, and I was literally on the verge of just getting up and taking my plate to the kitchen to wash it off, only for this man to just come in and like, what are you still doing on the table? I literally pulled his belt, didn't use the normal side.
Oh my god.
Took the buckle of, and hit me dead ass in the head.
Oh shit.
Then everything passed, and only
I
for
think I
him
can
to
see
go
the
around
mark.
the corners and now tell my mom to come and tell me that he was sorry for that.
let me
No.
tell you.
My dad won't do that.
that's
He will
not-
tell you.
that's
He
not
will
nice.
tell you. He will tell
That's
you.
not
You know, we want the best for you.
We want the
That
best
is
by-
the
by
apology.
nearly killing me.
Enough,
Give me one
enough
other
fast
bit.
like that too.
Should I tell you this day? I'll never forget this day, and it's still something that I still bring up with my parents sometimes. It's like, you guys look, you
cut
kind
your
of
bread.
broke me. That's funny. You guys almost kind of broke me and any type of trust that I might ever have for you. This was year 5. I'll never forget this day. End of year. Growing up, I wasn't always the best academically. I really wasn't. But that year 5 is when things actually started changing for me. So end of the year, I actually did really well. Like, I was gassed. I was so happy to go home. But before my parents came to pick me, I was outside, we were playing football with my friends or whatever. What I didn't know is that my bag was open and my result flew out of my bag. It was raining.
Oh yeah.
My result flew out of my bag.
You messed
The
up.
driver, I fucked
You messed up,
up. I fucked up.
Accept some of
The driver came, all I did, I just quickly,
So you have driver.
Aren't you the one that just say you don't take bus? Anyways, so cool. I just picked up my bag, ran home. Literally, as we are literally approaching the house, I was so happy. I said, let me go and check my result again.
It's wet.
Not even that it's wet, it's not there.
Oh, yeah,
So
guys.
the
messed up,
wind, the
messed
wind.
up.
At first, I'm already begging the driver, I'm big. I knew. But it's like, okay, I have to go back to my family. It's late and it's raining. So I was just like, you know what? If I just come with the God honest truth. Literally, I walked in the house, I was like, Mom, see, this is what happened. This is the exact same grade I got. I don't know, my result is not in my bag. We can go to school tomorrow and go and get it. And you will see that everything I've said is the truth.
Yeah.
You see this chipped tooth?
Oh my god.
Dad's wedding ring. They f***ed me up that day beyond every image. Like, I've never received this was a
Beating
tag
them,
team. Oh, they were taking
Damn.
turns. My dad at a point got exhausted. He had to tag my mom in. Next morning, 7 a.m. sharp, my mom went to the school convinced that I was lying. The first thing security did, because they knew me around the school, First thing security did was take her to the field and they saw my wet result there.
Oh damn.
They now printed another one showing that everything I said was the truth.
Did they apologize, Sha?
What?
Do you know what my mom, when we go home, this is exactly,
Your
my
Rana
mom
take her
got
to go and
home.
buy
She
ice
was
cream.
like, Ois, I bought your favorite meat
Exactly.
pie from Mr. Biggs and I made spaghetti for later. Went back to her shop.
Guys,
That's all I got.
that kind of brings me to the next question, because I feel like that's going to, obviously, see, the thing is that parents don't realize that we are going to remember this stuff, guy. This is a guy recalling
This
events
is
as if it happened,
2009
as if it happened
July.
yesterday
I will never
from primary
forget,
five.
bro.
So how does that like play into like your mental health, and how do you think your parents see that side? Do you understand? Because I feel like they
Can some of our parents even spell mental health?
are big.
That is how far
I beg.
removed it is
They
from
will
their
use
realm
more
of
beating to straighten
thinking.
your mental health.
Yeah,
Gee.
so I feel like they are just not, maybe I don't want to say on the same level, but so we're not resonating on the same wavelength
Of course
with
not.
our parents. So I just feel like there's a lot, like I said, communication. There's a lot of things that you have to tell them. So have you ever told them this story, Sha? Have you ever
course.
recounted the story for them?
2 years ago, me and my brothers, we literally had like an intervention with them. Because at a point it was bad. Like we literally just got was like, these are the ways you guys f***ed us up as kids.
Yeah.
And what was their response? Like what did they?
At first, like, they would just come and just like, this is all we've ever known. We're a product of our environment. Blah, blah. We thought that we were doing the right thing for you guys.
Well-
Maybe we should have known that we hurt you guys, but we weren't
Abio.
thinking that way.
Oh
But
well.
bro.
So
I've left them in the hands of
are
God.
we ever going to reach a common ground?
I don't think so.
We
Never.
will
With
not.
some, yes, but
We will
with
never.
some,
There's some
majority,
parents that
no.
With
can
some,
be
oh,
saved.
with
No, no, no.
some.
Yes, but with
30% of parents, yes. The remaining 70.
Let everyone here
Go on.
speak for themselves. Do you think you ever reach that common ground with your parents,
With-
where there's like an understanding? Say like you can do what you want, and they can understand that like you're not actually going against them. You're just trying to do you. Do you understand?
Well, at this point, I feel like he cannot. My dad, I feel like he can actually see things from my own sort of perspective now, but then never.
Never have you. But like it means you are getting there. How about you?
Absolutely not. Sorry, Dad.
You don't see that road, or his?
No.
My mom's a little bit, but my dad is my dad. He's
He's
not
gone.
moving.
Yeah, guy. I feel like that's the final. Cause guy, this is something very, very like shocking. Like my dad was going to come visit us, and then my mom sat down. She twisted my hair for me, and then like. I'm like,
That
what is
would
happening
never
here?
happen in
Then
my
my dad came the next week, and he's like, well, yeah, this guy, go on, Bob. So it's just like, guy, where do you stand? But like, yeah, of course they're making progress, but then I don't think we're ever going to reach that common
We
ground
put
at
you
the
all
end
in
of the
our
day.
prayers.
Yeah,
In God's
honestly.
hands.
Well,
Well, I
think-
hope you guys enjoyed this mutual sharing of generational trauma.
Yes.
As always, I've been Ohis. You guys already know the guys.
Yes,
Shout out.
Laifa, Magnus, Tani.
Magnus.
And yeah, do not forget to follow the conversation on all social media platforms at hashtag The Rant Room on TVC.
TVC.
And we'll see you next time. Same station, same time.
On it.